Guys, what's a good sign that a woman is just using you? Pretty much the same as when any person is just using you. The relationship feels unbalanced and unequal, with you giving more than you are receiving. In a good relationship, friendship, whatever, both people are giving what they want to give without coercion and both feel adequately rewarded for it. Sometimes one person needs more, sometimes the other, but it evens out over time. When you feel like you're being coerced into giving more than you really want, whether that's with force or emotional manipulation or whatever, you're being used and you'll eventually resent it. Anytime you try opening up, you're acting off character, selfish, etc. It's usually the typical pathetic manipulation people pull to make you feel bad for either standing up for yourself or just trying to be you. Your issues aren't worth talking about, but she will unload all of hers on you. She doesn't act that interested when you are interested, flirting, contacting her, but when you stop, suddenly she is very interested and contacts you, a lot until you act interested again. The cycle then repeats. One-sidedness. When she expects you to do things that she wouldn't do herself. I had a girl tell me she only talks to a guy because he buys her food when she asks. This guy was my friend, and was very interested in her. She never calls you by your name and you find out you're labeled free food in her phone. I was dating a girl who said she was too busy to go on a date on Saturday, and that she was only free on Tuesdays. She also said that she wanted to date other guys while dating me. She later admitted that she was cycling boyfriends through the week for free food. I dropped her like a bag of moldy tangerines. She's in desperate need of a lung transplant and is always complimenting you about what nice lungs you have and making offhand comments about how you don't use your lungs much and could probably do okay without them. A girl once called me her happy pill, a nickname her therapist created cause I genuinely made her life so much better, but she cheated on me anyway. My friend told me that you only take a pill when you need it, and I've lived by that and use that as a filter for all my relationships. There are no signs big enough what will be visible through it. Rose-tinted glasses. She's always making posts telling her friends where you took her for dinner, birthday, holidays, vacation, and what gifts you've given her, but never once does she say anything about any unique qualities she finds attractive in you. Oh, I can answer this one. When asking you for something, time/money/physical effort, if you say yes, she will almost always and immediately look for something else to ask you for that is related. E.g., can you stop and pick up those hair things for me? I'll say yes, okay. Can you also stop by the shop next door and get me that thing I like? This kind of thing isn't a big deal on occasion, but when it's a repeating pattern, it's a red flag. She will point out how much she fucks you and how it's for you. Will treat any/most of your interests with disdain or indifference. Doesn't ever really care what you have to say. When you attempt to point out any inequality in the relationship, she will get extremely defensive and attack you for being selfish, and tell you you need to be more supportive/giving/a real man. If you feel like you're being used, and you can't have the conversation about it with her, she acts really nice for a while, then asks for money and weed. When you say no, she turns mean. LOL. I'm not a man, but I've known too many not so great women and have had guy friends used by women, so think I can chime in here a little. She never wants to listen to your complaints, but that's all she does herself. She asks about your bank account and your job often and says she's just wondering. She gets unreasonably mad when you forget a holiday *. She makes deals with you using her body. If you buy me this, I'll suck your dick in the car. She lies constantly about her own financial situation or personal relationships. She always wants to hang out with a specific friend of yours. She doesn't thank you for things, but rather expects them. She manipulates you by threatening to withhold sex until she gets her way. She only says I love you when you give her something or do something for her. She never pays for anything herself. She guilt trips the life out of you. She is unreasonably, explicitly defensive when you voice your concerns regarding the relationship. If your girls is doing any of these, find a new girl. When you realize you are there for her more than they are for you. If she has other men in her life, in whatever capacity, but you're not allowed to even speak to another woman, even an established platonic friend, without her flipping her shit. You are nothing to her but a source of drama and validation. Run, do not walk away. She uses her emotions and body to get what she wants from you. Makes you feel like you need to spend more time/money on her her. She doesn't understand the word no. Girl is using my buddy and he doesn't see it. She only reaches out to him when she's single. Nothing ever comes of it, as she will find excuse after excuse to not actually meet up, then when she gets a new boyfriend she ghosts him unless something goes wrong and she needs a shoulder to cry on. Guys, if she only reaches out to you when she's hurt or vulnerable, she doesn't want you, she wants sympathy and knows you'll give it to her. When she flirts with you all the time, and also everyone else, and asks you to come over to do complex electrical work and says she'll take you out to dinner, and you agree because you like the work and like being around her, but she brings her kids along and ignores you the entire time. Then when you're not around her she never texts or calls and just waves at you when you pass her at work every day, making no effort to talk to you whatsoever. And when you try to talk to her she gives you short answers like yeah fuck you Liz. They contact you when they need something, if it counts, but when she takes a lot of time to text back most of the time, but as soon as you invite her to a really good place, where she won't have to pay for anything, she is suddenly faster than flash to respond and now answers quick as long as the topics are about going to said place. When trying to ask you for something they start their question with the phrase hey you should, insert thing they want, for me. When it's never their fault. Any indication that she's trying to keep your relationship secret. Small things like body language whenever you take her out could be decent indicators. If she doesn't really seem all that into you but chooses to go out with you anyways and she's getting something out of it, food, materialistic things, etc. She only talks to you when she needs something. If this thought ever pops in your head, that's already a sign. I don't think a healthy relationship/friendship should ever have this doubt popping up in the very first place. Rose-tinted glasses are a very real thing and will make you stay in a bad relationship even though the flags are very obvious. I only hope those who are reading this thread can be brave enough to leave for your own good. Some clearer signs: lack of two-way communication, only her issues matter, yours doesn't. Similarly, if you're the only one starting conversations but she doesn't, but still keeps you around, start running. She only looks for you when she's in trouble/needs a shoulder/having a bad time. A healthy relationship should share the good times as much as the bad times. Your worth to her is measured by the material things you can bring to the relationship. If you feel like once you stop investing money/time and you would lose her, stop whatever you are doing immediately and find a better person. If all of the problems you have in your relationship all of a sudden become your problem. Recently got out of a relationship with someone who I thought I was gonna marry someday, but then little things like me saying just wish once in a while you'd make sacrifices in your schedule for me like I'll do for you and LD always here never asked you to do that for me, so that's your problem. You never meet her friends or family and she only ever wants to go out to dinner or some other event, but never anything you want to do. Claims to be Mother Teresa, but your issues are either irrelevant or they are openly stating that they don't care. Searching 3+ months for a job and quitting after 2 weeks, rinse and repeat. On your date night showing up and asking for money, so they can go drink with friends. A handshake and a congrats for your birthday. Proclaiming I bought a house on social media, while it's all in your name. And you pay for everything. No, I'm not bitter anymore. Why? Not a guy, but am a bi woman. Unironically, think of a pickup artist and how they see women, objects of desire to be captured and kept by any means necessary. Some women do that shit too, and they use the same tactics. 1. They will be fairly quick to get angry or upset with you. Small things will be made into big problems, and you'll be put down for them. 2. They will swing wildly between treating you well and treating you like shit. Their actions are there to promote a transactional relationship, i.e. gotta treat him well sometimes so he keeps coming back. 3. They will use their pain against you, making you feel like shit. Often they will make you feel bad for them or feel guilty. The goal is to make the guy sympathize with them as well as show vulnerability. For example, the guy might catch himself thinking she's going through a rough time and everything will be better soon. 4. Gaslighting. They'll lie to you, even if you have proof. It will usually start small and escalate to bigger things. They want the dude to question his reality and be more open to manipulation. 5. Isolation. They'll try to isolate guys from friends, hobbies, and family if they can get away with it. If said girl is the only person they have, they'll stay even when things get really bad. Not every girl who uses people will do every one of these things, but if you stay long enough you'll see them more and more. It might also escalate to domestic assault as well. Sadly, a lot of men don't have a lot of emotional intelligences due to the bullshit stereotypes forced on them. Things like, boys shouldn't cry, don't be a quitter, strive to be the bigger man, and don't talk about your emotions, can make men easier to manipulate, on top of promoting really bad mental health strategies. Just like how pickup artists will take advantage of vulnerable women, predatory women will take advantage of vulnerable or gullible men.